Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. This is the last Friday in June. Wow, mid year, and we're already on the last Friday. I'm relaxing once again in my patio, which the British we call it patio, where I can see nature, where I can have the breeze. Here, I can taste, I can smell, if possible, I can touch, and I can see. Here, it's possible for me to combine my five senses to achieve my dreams, using them for faster manifestation of my dreams or turning my dreams into reality. This is what I've been talking on for the past 5 Fridays. For those joining me newly, my name is Josephine. I anchor this YouTube channel known as Language Jokes. On Tuesdays, I release teaching on core courses in philosophy of religion, theology, spiritual formation, because my Ph.D. is in philosophy of religion and theology. Fridays like this, I talk on germane issues, important issues that are critical to our progress in life, to achieving greatness, to achieving equilibrium spiritually, physically, economically, and financially. We are what we can use or do to better our lives. Today is the last Friday I'll be talking about the five human senses and how we can use them together to achieve greatness, to achieve prosperity, to turn our dreams into reality. Because each of those senses, when they process whatever we use them for, is sent to our brain. Before I go on, I like us to join languages for a kind of advertisement. I welcome you back. For those just joining me, my name is Josephine, and I anchor Languages, an academy of knowledge economy. Either on Tuesday where I teach or Friday where I talk about germane issues, I tempted like people to take their pen, take their paper to jot notes, to remember some of the things I'm going to say. I don't want an excuse that what's your digital professor saying? I can't hear her well, but it's not so clear to me. But when I share my PowerPoint presentation, you understand clearly exactly what I'm talking on and talking about. So I want you to take your pen, to take your paper, and join me. This is the fifth sense that I'm going to talk on. Sense of smell. I've spoken on touch, I've spoken on sight, I've spoken on hearing, and I've spoken on taste. And each of these, I've spoken on smell. Today, I'm talking on the sense of taste. And each of these, I try to scientifically go through how they are really, and the process they go through to send things to our brain. And the same thing I'm going to do now with sense of taste. We all love to taste something. And I've always, what I'm trying to let you know is that once you can touch it, you can see it, you can smell it, you can hear it, and you can taste it. Using together, it materializes foster manifestation of your dreams into reality. Sense of taste. You know, it's only when you taste something, you know how is usually that thing is. You can look at something, you don't know if it's sweet, if it's sour, or if it's just blank, nothing. You need to taste it to know the sweetness, to know the sourness, to know how that particular thing tastes. When you look at this picture I'm showing you now, my PowerPoint, bitter. When you say something, you can say, oh, this thing is bitter, this thing is sour, this is salty, this is sweet. Is the gustatory sense is usually broken down into the perception of 4 different tastes. And those 4 tastes is salty, sweet, sour, and bitter. There's also a 5th taste that is defined as umami or savory. There may be many other flavors that have not yet been discovered. Also, we talk about spicy. Spicy is not a taste. According to the National Library of Medicine, it is a kind of pain signal. You know, those of us who are African Americans or you come from Africa originally, we like spicy food. Not only us, I know Asian people too. They like spicy people. And also I think people from Korea, at least South Korean I know about, they like spicy, very spicy food. Spicy is not a taste. It is kind of signal. It can be a pain signal. And that's why when some people taste something that is so spicy and they don't like it, they're looking for either water or sugar or something to pour on there to lessen that kind of pain. So the 5 different tastes that have been discovered is salty, sweet, sour, bitter, and the one that is called umami. We have what we call taste buds. The sense of taste aided in human evolution, according to the NLM, because taste aids people taste the food they eat. Without the sense of taste, you will just be eating, you won't know how it tastes. I mean, you will just be gulping, swallowing that food without knowing, oh, I love this food. You can only say you love something after you have tasted it, and if you like something sweet, when you've tasted it, you say, oh, I love this food. It's so sweet. If you like things sour, when you take it also, I love this thing, it's sour. If you like something bitter, oh, I love this thing, it's bitter. And the same thing if salty, that's when you know, when you're eating a kind of soup and there's too much salt in it, you can say, I don't like this, it's too much salty. A bitter or sour taste indicates that a plant might be poisonous or rotting. And at times, when you taste something that is normally sweet, and you are getting something like bitter taste from it, or sour taste, it sends a signal to you that this thing is rotting, or this thing is poisonous, or something has affected this thing, because this is not the normal taste of this thing. However, Something salty or sweet often meant the food was rich in nutrients. In some cases, taste is sensed in the taste buds. We use our taste bud to sense taste. Adults have 2,000 to 4,000 taste buds. Most of them are on the tongue. If you look at our tongue, most of our taste buds are on our tongue, but they also line the back of the throat, the epiglottis, the nasal cavity, and the esophagus. I'm going to repeat this for clarity. We have taste buds. As a human being have between 2,000 and like 4,000 taste buds, and these taste buds, most of them are lying their tongue. But they also line the back of the throat, the epiglottis, the nasal cavity, and the esophagus. And according to the NLA, sensory cells of the buds form capsules shaped like flower buds or oranges. The tips of these capsules have pores that work like funnels with tiny taste ears. Proteins on the ears bind chemicals to the cells for tasting. And that is why if this thing is non-functional or something has affected your taste buds, that means you can't taste anything. When you eat food, you don't know if it's sweet, if it's sour, if it's bitter, if it's umami. You don't know. You just eat without having any sense of taste in it. And according to NLA, it is a myth that the tongue has specific zones for each flavor. That's a myth. There is no specific zone for each flavor. None at all. The 5 tastes can be sensed on all tongue parts. On all tongue parts. It's not that our tongue is divided into zones, and then this zone is the one tasting bitter, this zone is the one tasting sweet, this zone is the one tasting salty, this zone is the one tasting umami or savory or whatever. No. The 5 tastes can be sensed on all tongue parts. And although the sides are more sensitive than the middle, about half of the sensory cells in our taste buds react to several of the 5 basic tastes. And the cells differ in the level of sensitivity. Each has a specific palette of tastes with a fixed ranking. So some cells may be more sensitive to sweet, some might be sensitive to bitter, some might be sensitive to sour and salty, while others have their rankings. The flavorful experience is produced only after the information from the different tongue parts is combined. The sensory cells. The other half of the sensory cells are specialized to react to only one taste. It's their job to transmit information about the intensity, how salty or sweet something tastes. That's the other half of our sensory cell. Their own job is to transmit that, oh, this thing is sweet, it has been tested that it's sweet. But how salty or how sweet? What's the intensity of the saltiness? What's the intensity of the sweetness? So other factors help build the perception of taste in the brain. For example, the smell of food significantly affects how the brain perceives the taste. According to the journal, that is flavor. Smells are sent to the mouth in a process called olfactory. We are talking about this combined, using our combined senses. So you can see how smell and taste are intertwined. Smells are sent to the mouth in the process called olfactory referral. It's like a referral. And texture translating by the sense of touch also contributes to taste. You know, I said this when we combine all our five senses, we have first manifestation of our dreams into reality. That is, if you are dreaming of abundance, you are dreaming of prosperity, or your dreams is all about growth, good health. That is how you do them. Smells are sent to the mouth in a process called olfactory referral. Texture translated by the sense of touch also contributes to taste. So medically known as glossitis, a burnt tongue is classified as a first-degree burn, but quickly heals in a few days. You know, most of us, when we take something very hot, we get our tongue burnt. I remember those days in my secondary school. I used to participate in tea competition. This tea competition, they want to know the first person to drink very hot. It's not that they just hot. Burning tea, they take it from the fire hot. That's why they give it to us. And because I want to come first, I'll drink it like that. I discovered that each time I find it difficult to eat for some days because my tongue will be burnt. But he heals very fast. He is very fast. I don't need Cleveland Clinic to tell me that because I have experienced it. But yet, Cleveland Clinic tells us that tongue, when you have a burnt tongue, it heals very fast. But taste buds don't completely die when exposed to piping hot foods. Taste buds, they don't completely die when exposed to piping hot foods. So when we scald the surface of our tongues, we remove the top layer of cells, including the upper layers of our taste buds. However, within the bundle of flavor detecting cells are stem cells known as basal cells. So typically, replacing the gustatory receptor cells every 10 days. So these regenerative cells quickly morph into replacement receptors, restoring your taste. Aren't we lucky? If not, if you don't have these replacing gustatory receptor cells, if they are not replaced, then some of us who have burnt our tongue several times, by now we will not be having any kind of taste bud to be able to taste anything anymore. But we still have, because it heals itself within few days. So what I'm saying is that taste your prosperity, taste your abundance, taste your dreams. Use it. Use it. 10% of cells are new to taste buds each day. So, because as they are replaced, then you discover that your 10% of your cells are new to taste bud each day. And because they are new, they are able to taste anything you want. The taste of sweetness, of sourness, of bitterness, umami, savory. And that is the taste. So, my plea is for you to taste your prosperity. Taste your prosperity. I have come to the end of how you can use our five senses for a first manifestation of your dreams or your goals into reality. You know, each of them, they send everything they do. Your sense of touch, your sense of sight, your sense of smell, your sense of hearing, your sense of taste. They do not work independently like that. But when you are aware of their uses and you use them, you combine them at the same time, you will know that you can sense your prosperity, taste your prosperity, hear your prosperity, touch your prosperity, and sight your prosperity. God has given all these 5 human senses for our benefit, and it's left for us to use them for our benefits. I thank you all who have been following me since the beginning of this particular episode, how to use our 5 human senses for greatness, for spiritual, physical, financial, economic, social, abundance, dreams becoming reality. Thank you. Thank you. Join me in on Tuesday. Anyway, this is the last Friday, but we still have a Tuesday in this June before this month ends. So join me on Tuesday for another course teaching.